We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
We're back. I don't know. I love that. I love our intro because it's like, what the hell's going on? Like,
yeah, you got like there's like 3 countdowns going.
Yeah. It's just like chaotic. It's just like
we want to make sure everybody's prepared.
Going on, like, and I want to add to it eventually, like not make it longer, but like I just want to put like wild shit in there, dude. Like,
I think we should make like the intro, the whole thing, just like 59 minutes long, and there's less work for us to do.
Right.
All right, see you next week.
Let's put like crazy shit like the world's end. I mean, just
yeah.
Right.
So what's up, Burf?
I'm doing good, guys.
I think you and Seth are like neck and neck on who's been on the show the most. So.
Oh really? Yeah, I saw like I think it was on like a week or two ago, huh?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I think it was.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, doing good, man. Was a little sick there at the beginning of the year. I was supposed to be on one of the first show of the year or whatever, but I got sick and took a while to recover from that. But back to myself now.
Yeah. That was the first show of the year. Was our first show back.
Yeah,
your first show back. Yeah,
yeah.
Right. I know.
And that was just like a perfect well at effing figures moment. Like,
right.
Yeah, we were scrambling. Like we didn't know what to do. Like so, but like we just want to make sure you were all right. So that's you're
we
finally feeling better.
We were rusty. We're both sitting here like, what should we do? Like, can we get somebody else? Like,
and I said, I've got it. We'll get Brian. Yeah, so it worked out.
Hey, I see Geek Strong's on here. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, we're gonna address the chat here in a second. I guess we could do that now. This shouldn't take long. Let me see.
Yeah, girl, jumping in, dude. Mega Demon.
Let me see.
I am feeling better, Mega Demon.
Mega Demon, is there a stream here tonight or not? Yes, there is. So I hope you stuck around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess you can call this a stream. I don't know, but whatever you want to call it. A shit show back to the 80s and 90s tonight because I love talking about that shit with you, Burf. I'm telling you, it's some of the best times, man. Just sitting here talking about the 80s and 90s and our old times. But
I never know what to put for the titles because, like, we don't go into it with like, hey, we're gonna talk about this. We just like
this and that. Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever comes up.
Yeah, whatever comes up. So it's like, what do I title it? So I was like, well, we kind of always tend to go that route. So
yeah, that's kind of how I've always like. I'm a marketer by trade. Like that's what I do for a living. And I've done a lot of webinars and podcasts and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how I approach all of that stuff, dude. I don't go like sometimes I have a general idea of what I want to talk about, but like I don't have like a presentation or anything. I just kind of like wing it,
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it, Too much planning and then you screw it up and you're like, damn, we should have done this. This way, nobody knows if we planned it or not. It's just it is what it is.
Right. If we fuck up, nobody knows.
We fuck up.
Well, I just like an authentic, real conversation, like when you're trying to form something, I don't know, it almost feels fake to me, like I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
It's like walking into a bar and say, hey guys, I'm gonna walk in a few minutes. Let's pretend you like me. We'll shake hands and I'll go back out and come back in. No, screw that. We're just gonna
have you ever seen those YouTube videos where they're like pranking somebody, and the girl will be sitting on a bench, and the guy like crawls up beside her, but like, you know, she could visibly see he's there, but she's acting like she doesn't see. You know, it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
well, you know, I like the channels or pages where it's like a couple and they're like pranking each other every video, and it's like, how are these authentic? I mean, every day I would just be waiting for the prank.
Yeah, like she can't be that stupid. Like, you know, something's coming, right?
Exactly.
I like the videos where the guy's sitting on the bench and then this guy runs up and throws like a bag down and runs like there's a bomb in it or something.
I've
it
seen that.
Me up, dude.
Dude, that's
they crack me up.
Like, you can like really traumatize somebody.
Yeah,
right.
And that's cool. Like, Brett the Hitman is with us tonight, collecting with Cool.
Sweet.
He's gonna have a cool stream tomorrow. Check it out. I think it's like 5:30 or 6:30 Eastern or Central, something like that. But
cool,
keep an eye out for that. See here, Geek Strong. What's up? The first sister. My first sister's here.
Hey, it's the White Monkey.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't script anything either. See?
Yeah, he's got a great channel.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
If you like the conspiracy stuff, you know, it's not even like conspiracy; it's actually like facts. You know what I mean? But like his channels, he's got a lot of stuff like that on.
Well, there's a lot of that these days.
Yeah, right.
Collecting Havoc is here with us. Hey, yo.
What's up,
John? J Philly Retro. Last time he was on with us, that was that was in the summer. That was our last show, and you were an alien. That was fun, man.
It's okay. I'm here. You can start now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go back
begun.
All right. Well, if we're not back next week, we know he's bad luck.
Yeah. If we have a fallout again, or I say something stupid, then it's his fault. So we'll blame him.
We'll blame it on him.
Yeah. Every time I say something stupid, it's his fault. Jay Philly, White Monkey. What the hell is going on? We don't even know. We can't answer that. Let's see. Millennium Workshop. I just so happened to have this on again. Yes, I did watch it on Sunday night. So, Chris Howard, what's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I think that's it because there's Jay Philly again.
Chris is in my Goody Will gang.
Oh, man.
What you got for me today, Goody Will? What you got for me today?
What did they have for you today? Can you, what'd you pick up lately?
What did I pick up today? I didn't pick up anything like major today, but I did get a bag that, it had an IG-88, a 1980 IG-88 in it, Star Wars figure.
Nice.
So that was cool. So it had that, no weapon, but just the figure. And then it also had like it actually like this. It had some little cereal stuff.
Oh man, Captain Crunch,
like Captain Crunch, Cookie Crisp, things like that in it. So it was like a little $3 bag. So I picked it up. It had like Fraggle Rock, Burger King toys in it.
Oh
you know,
man,
but nothing major.
That's man. They always had the best toys back then, like all the fast food joints, dude. Now they have shit.
I miss the cereal, the toys and cereal. I wish they would bring that shit back. Sometimes when I walk down the cereal aisle, like I'll look just to see if like maybe there's one box that has brought it back, but it's always a disappointment.
We were just at me and Collecting Havoc in the chat. We were just at a toy show on Sunday, and we came. One of the vendors had a whole bag of, remember the movie Small Soldiers?
Oh yeah.
It was a whole bag of the Small Soldiers toys from McDonald's, dude. You wanted $100 for it. I mean, it was a pretty big bag. I wanted it so bad, but I just couldn't spend it.
Wow.
Hey, look, Burf's mom is here. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
I love the videos with I love your mom. She was in the videos when you came to Pennsylvania. They were some good videos, man. She went out and hunted with you. That was cool.
She did,
yeah. Welcome to the show, Mom.
She hustled that week.
yeah. And you made her drive every time too. You were like, I'm not driving. I'm just chilling in the passenger seat. And
that's because bosses don't drive. They get driven.
That's right. Goodwill, Jeeves. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, she was funny, man. That was cool to have her on.
Yeah, good memories. That'll be something I remember. hopefully she's got another 20, 30 years in her, but like, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. She seemed like she does. She's had full energy, man.
Yeah.
She's cool, man. Coming back to Pennsylvania anytime soon to visit, or is that like a once a year thing?
Yeah, I am. Like I probably won't make it this year. Although like part of me is like, you know, anything can change throughout the year. Part of me is kind of wanting to go back this year, except I would want to fly this time. I don't want to drive.
That
like,
drive's
long drive, dude. It's like 22 hours.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like every time we drive it, my wife she gets excited. She's like, road trip, you know, and I'm just like, really? Like, do you not remember the last time like we went, you know, oh, it's gonna be fun, you know? And like, and then it always like turns out like 15 hours into it and we're like,
yeah. Yeah, she's all like amped up, singing every song on the radio and
for like the first like, you know, 200 miles. And then after that, it's just like, you know, aggravating. You know, because I'm not a good driver either, she'll tell you.
Oh geez.
I love road trips, but like anything over 15 hours is starting to push it, you know, like
it is. We do it in 2 days, but it's like still a lot, you know.
Even the drive to Nashville for ICCC, I was like, I can't do that again this year. I gotta fly.
Like I did,
which means I have to limit what I buy unless I ship it back. But
the craziest like out of nowhere thing I did, and this was like when I was like 19, we were all partying over at my house, or you know, it was the first place I moved. We were partying and we were like, let's go to Arizona tomorrow, you know, we'll leave, we'll road trip. And we, no lie, we fucking did it, dude. We got up, he was at my house like early as fuck in the morning, I heard him coming through the gate. I'm like, no, is this fucker's for real, right? I was like, whatever.
I was drunk when I said it.
So we did Milwaukee to Phoenix straight through, dude. It was rough. That was a rough fucking. I mean, it was mainly like if I was driving, he was sleeping. If I was,
how many hours?
Do
you remember?
It was like pushing 40 hours, dude. It was like 30. Yeah, dude. It was like, I think like 30 is what it like called for, but you know, like you got stop and eat and stuff, you know. But
no more parties. There's too many bad decisions being made.
Dude, all my buddies that were there that night, they're calling me out. They're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm in St. Louis." They're like, "He's like, no fucking way, you did it."
Well, you know, what's kind of funny is that I noticed like on our road trip, like, you know, we would stop at a gas station or whatever along the way. But like we would stop at the gas station, like our estimated time, let's say our ETA was going to be like 1:00 on Saturday, right? 1:00 p.m. We stop at a gas station and spend like 10 minutes there. And then I get back in the car and the ETA is like 1:30. And it's like where did those extra 20?
I hate that shit because like I'm like, if I stop to use the bathroom, this is going to prolong my vacation. I got to keep trucking along. Like it's just going to add a half an hour on every time. You know, but I the same thing happens to me. I hate that.
Right.
My wife's like, let's stop and get a coffee. I'm like, are you shitting me? Then we'll be late getting there. It says 4:00. I want to get there at 4 now. I don't want to get there at 5.
I like those that like I know in Illinois they have like these, it's like a bridge that goes over the freeway and there's like a building up there and it's just like, dude, they're crazy, dude. And they're like you know, you just get off and get gas or you can go inside the thing and it's like a big, like it almost looks like a food court and shit, you know. It's like nuts. But it's cool, you just get on and you get off. It's crazy.
So here's the place you don't want to stop. Chris Howard's right. Like I've never been to one, but I've seen videos. If you stop at a Buc-ee's, your 1:00 will turn into 5:00.
Yeah,
because that place is huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and they have so much food. We've got them here in Texas. There's like there's 2 that are near me. One's like each one is about 30 minutes away, but it's like it's crazy too, dude. It's like it's kind of like Wally, like the Griswolds. Like people make like pilgrimages to Buc-ee's to just you know go and hang out there and buy their food and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like when I watch these videos, they're all like mesmerized by how many different soda flavors they have.
Right.
And I'm like, that doesn't mesmerize me for some reason. Like, it's too many choices. I just want to get something and go.
Right.
I don't want raspberry Coke.
It's called the Skyway. That's what they're called.
What's that? A
the
place
thing
like
I was
Buc-ee's?
the thing I was talking about goes over the freeway. But I'm gonna say what's up to Figure Fever. and
Figure Fever.
Captain Action Evil.
Yeah,
who is that? I've never seen that figure. I'm seeing it here in the chat. White Monkey and Geek Strong are talking about it.
Oh, let me see.
I'll have to look that up.
Oh, Dr. Action Evil toy.
Yeah, that's
an Action Dr. Evil toy.
No.
Never heard of it.
I started incorporating some Goodwill hunts on my channel now because it's something I do with my grandpa all the time. Like we go Goodwill and I never filmed while we were doing it because I was like, what if I don't find nothing? And I was like, screw it, dude. I'll just start filming anything I find. It doesn't even have to be toys.
Right.
It's been fun. We hit like all the Goodwills like within like a half hour of our house.
Yeah.
So I call it like the big loop, dude. It's huge, and like that takes it out of you, dude. It's like a day-long trip, dude, and like and walk. Oh man, dude, but it's fun. Find a lot of. We end up coming home with like 4 bags full of stuff.
Right. Yeah, see, I watched Burf's video and I'm like, you know what, babe? Like we're gonna go to Goodwill this weekend. I tell her, and then we'll go. And I walk in, and I'm like, the only thing we get out of this place is coming out smelling musty. There's nothing in our Goodwills at all. Nothing. Our Goodwill smells so bad. Like, does yours smell that bad too?
Yeah, our smell too. Yeah, that's part of the. Well, Nicole has agreed to go in 2 weeks, not this weekend, but next weekend. She's actually going to go thrifting with me. Like,
I do miss her on the show a lot. I like when she's on.
Yeah, she was on a recent video, and everybody was like, oh, she's so funny and stuff. And then like asked the video, like, hey, let's take a poll and let's, see if we can get Nicole to go on a thrifting adventure with me. And she agreed. I told her, I'm like, look at all these people that want to see you. So she's going to come like in 2 weeks. But I have a buddy of mine from Oklahoma that's coming down this weekend. So he lives like 3 hours away, and he's like, man, I really want to go thrifting with you. And I was like, well, you want to come down? You can come down. So we're going to spend all day on this Saturday, and I'm going to go hit up a bunch of stores that I normally stick to Dallas on the Dallas Fort Worth. I stick on the Dallas side. I have never thrifted over in Fort Worth, but since we're going to do an all day thing, I told him, we'll go to Fort Worth and check out some new stores and stuff like that. But we have so many here, but they all stink. And that's one of the reasons why Nicole doesn't like to go, because they just
I guess like people aren't washing their clothes before they drop them off, and their shoes are just like humming, like smelling like Jesus. I don't even know.
Well, our Goodwill and stuff and other thrift stores, like they spray. It's like they take like a can of Lysol and like spray the shirt. So the shirt always has like that Lysol smell to it or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
You know what? You can spray the bathroom after you shit, and it still just covers it out. Just a hair. It still stinks, You get that because now you got cotton fresh shit. So it's like it's not doing the job, dude. It's like
you get that musty smell because a lot of that stuff probably comes from people's basements or attic.
Yeah. And the people around me, they're not dropping shit off for free. Like they want to sell it. So Marketplace, like they'll put anything on there here. Instead of dropping off at the Goodwill, they'll be like, here, a broken hanger, 5 cents. Like they don't even care.
Dude, it's getting harder to find good stuff at Goodwill now because now they got a little online sells.
Yeah.
You ever go on there and look at the online stuff? You can find like old Ninja Turtle figures, and
Goodwill has online.
I mean,
I've never done the online. I've looked at the online auction, but I've never placed any bids on anything like that to get them. But I've heard of people getting good deals.
Dude, they had
Goodwill has online.
Yeah, they have like an online auction.
Holy shit!
Kind of like an eBay.
They
I
had
bet ours down.
A 18-inch NECA Predator on there, and I was like, ooh, and I look at it, and they want like $300 for it. I'm like, what the? I was like,
well, dude, this was so. There's a Goodwill for like the last couple of weeks, whatever. So do you know those like the retro Atari games that you can buy at Target that have all the games built into them? You know what I mean? And they're usually about half the size of what the original games were as far as the console goes. But they have a Sega, they have a Nintendo. Like the Nintendo is like about this big, but it has all the games built into it. Dude,
we have one.
They want $150 for that. They want $100 for the Sega system, and they want like $135 for the Atari. And I'm like, you can buy these at Target for like $70 or something like that.
I don't even think we paid that much for our Nintendo. It's like $30 or something like that.
Do you have the Goodwill bins down by you? Because like Collecting Havoc, he's trying to get me to go to one of the Goodwill.
We do, but I haven't been to them yet.
That just sounds like horror. Like,
yeah,
through a bin full of just anything.
There's a meme that goes around sometimes of Chewbacca, like when he's in, when C-3PO gets blasted apart in Empire Strikes, and he's like in there putting them together, and he's like fighting with those little pig dudes and stuff like that. It's like there's a meme where they have that little video and it says, my morning at the Goodwill bins.
Right. And Goodwill, they, for being in the Goodwill, they have a lot of rules. Like if they're bringing the cart out, you just can't go looking in the cart until they put it out and all this shit. Like I've seen you got yelled at a couple times in the store on your show, like on your streams, and it's like, what the hell?
When that cart gets pushed out, it's like, who gets there first, man?
Like, I have a friend.
Who gets to the smelly shoes first? I mean, I don't know if I want to get there first.
If they were smart, they would just push the cart out, let everybody like go through it, and they'd have like nothing to put away.
Yeah.
See, Jay
job security though, they gotta.
Jay Philly said, I found that Atari one last week for $10, and they won $135 for it at that Goodwill. That's crazy.
Goodwill's getting crazy.
I've got a friend, I call him Thrifter Sean, but he goes to the one Goodwill every morning, him and another guy, and he was telling me that he goes there and he sits and he waits for about 3 hours while they bring the carts out between like 10 a.m. and like 1. I'm like, you guys just stand there and wait for 3 hours for them to bring carts out? He's like, yeah. He's like, we get good stuff that way. But I'm like, so instead of going and hitting up a bunch of thrift stores, he'll just stay at that one Goodwill for 3 hours and wait for them to bring all their carts out from the.
He'll bring a chair and a beer, a 6-pack of beer, and just sit in the aisle.
Right.
Put his feet up
and they just let them push it past them. And they just pick through it.
Well, and that's the thing. He's like become friends with the manager because he's there every day for 3 hours. So like he does get some.
Did they start putting, because like by me, they got rid of all the glass cases. They don't have the glass cases anymore. And they started putting stuff behind the counter now. Like, so like they'll have like all these shoes lined up back there.
Yeah.
Like records
is now too.
They're getting big time.
Like any like decent action figure that they deem decent, they'll put there. So it's like you can't even like really go in and just like, half the fun was like finding it like on the shelf and stuff. And now it's like you might as well. I mean, you still can. Like, I found this dang original Dewback.
Oh, did you really? I'll hold
that.
Let's see that. Oh, dude, that is awesome.
That is
cool. Got the harness and everything. Dude.
See, I would never find that at my Goodwill. And all the glass cases at my Goodwill are empty.
This was just sitting on the toy shop, like, just in the toy shop. I saw it. I'm like, no way. And I didn't even like realize what I had at first. And I flipped it over and I'm like, holy shit, this is an original one. It's like brand new looking.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
I was all excited, dude. Like, yeah. That's the fun of going there, though. So like when they start putting it all behind behind the registers, it's like you're killing your own store, man. Like
it's like they've become a resale store instead of a store.
Exactly.
You need to friend some managers of Goodwills or somebody. That way you can get in early.
I got my one lady. I got this one lady. She's my Goodwill hookup.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like in her 70s. And like, she's just awesome.
She's cougering you.
Always.
If I give him free toys, he'll come back.
Right.
Wouldn't it be nice to like do a get to know somebody there and get to the back of the Goodwill before anything comes out and just rummage through everything? Well, that would be a nice video.
They do. Our Goodwills, like they have like where you can volunteer and go over there and stuff like that and help out and stuff like that. I've never done that, but I should do like an undercover video.
You should do that. You should volunteer.
Hey, can I come volunteer for a day and just
you could back your car up with put the hatch back up and just start siphoning things in,
Speaking of that,
a whole nother world back there. They got like everything stacked all.
Yeah, right. I do kind of peek in the door sometimes. Like, I'll go up to it and like you got the little windows and I'll like look in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that nobody back there knows anything about what they're putting out. Like some of these vintage toys, like nobody sees like, oh shit, I can get a lot of money for this. Let me buy this before I put it out.
You can tell when stores like when they have someone that does think they know what they have though, because like the prices will be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, my Goodwill hookup lady, she told me that store manager. So I have this other friend. His name's Jose, and Jose sends me a text message a couple weeks ago, and he goes, hey man, he goes, were you at the Goodwill off of Round Grove Road this morning? And I was like, no, I was, on the other side of town. He's like, oh man, he's like, somebody found a big lot of G.I. Joe there this morning, and I was hoping it was you. And I was like, no. He goes, my dad was able to get something. He sent over a picture of a Cobra hydrofoil, and I was like, oh dude, that's cool, So when I went in there the next day, I saw my hookup lady. I said, hey, I heard somebody found a big lot of G.I. Joes here yesterday. And she was like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, oh, really? I said, my friend Jose said that somebody found a big lot. And she goes, I don't think so. And she goes, and there was another guy working there. He's like our age. And she goes, hey, were there any G.I. Joes sold here yesterday? And he goes, no. He goes, I would remember that because I grew up with that. She goes, we were both working yesterday. So I don't know what the whole story was with that necessarily, or maybe they, we're on lunch break whenever that happened. I don't know. But she did tell me, she goes, our manager that's here, he's got a friend that collects those old toys. And anytime they come in, he calls his friend. And I was like, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. That's behind the scenes bullshit. I don't like
that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's stupid, but
I guess it's all who you know sometimes. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Do you know much about like other things besides toys? Like when you go in there, do you like look at anything else normally?
I do. I will go and I'll always look at the electronics and stuff like that. And I would have bought it, had it so they had a Sanyo stereo system from the 1980s with two cassette decks in it and a record player on top, and they only wanted like $20 for it. And I looked it up online, and it was like reselling for 150. And I was like, oh man, I was thinking about just getting it for myself, but I was like, let me go plug it in, just make sure it works. Well, I go and plug it in, and the fast forward button works on the one side, and then the play button doesn't work, and then the play button doesn't work on the other side, but the fast forward and rewind. So it was like, bro, it didn't work. So I ended up leaving it. But I do look at stuff like that because sometimes it's like, oh man, I might be able to find something that I could flip for $100 or something.
Right.
Like that, It's so funny too, dude. Like I had a guy on my channel recently, like he was like, you're a piece of shit, you're scumbag. He's like, you're a scalper. You're buying this stuff. This is these thrift stores are there for needy people, and you're there scalping. And I was like, so I commented back to him, and I was like, a scalper is somebody who goes into like Target and buys it at retail and then doubles the price and sells it online. Yeah. I said, I'm going into the thrift store, finding stuff that's like, cheap, and then reselling it at like its normal retail or whatever. There's a difference. Like that's not a scalper. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's funny how people get triggered by that stuff, man.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. People. Yeah. Get some nasty shit to say. I watched these two shows. They're connected. One's called the Homeschooling Picker, and the other one's called Part-Time Pickers. And they find some shit, man. And I'm like, you really got to know what you're looking at. And evidently I don't, because some of the shit they pick up, I would say this is trash. And then they make thousands off of it. I would love to know.
Tell you a funny story about them, actually. So there was the guy, I think he's called the Philly Picker.
Philly Flipper, yeah.
Philly Flipper, right? Yep. And then the homeschool girl. Well, apparently they're friends.
Yeah.
So she made a video 2 summers ago, and the title on the video was "Everyone Wanted Into This Estate Sale." So when I was watching it, I was like, it had like 80-some thousand views on it. Yeah. So I had just gone to an estate sale, so I just titled my video the same thing. I figured, kind of piggyback off of the traffic that's going there. They'll watch her, maybe see her video, and then see my video. So
that's smart,
right? Yeah. So it's just marketing, right? So. Yeah. I ended up like titling it "Everyone Wanted Into This Estate Sale." Dude, so like he ends up, the Philly Flipper, he comes and leaves a comment on my channel.
Nice.
He's like, you're trash, man. Like how dare you copy her title? She's my friend, blah, blah, blah. And he's like coming at me. So then like she messages me on Instagram with a screenshot of my title. It's the only thing she did. She just did a screenshot of my video with that same title. And So I end up going over to their channel, and I go and I start looking through their titles on their different videos, right? And like one of them was like something like, this estate sale was money, something like that. So I go to Google or YouTube and I put in this estate sale is money. And like there's like part-time picker and all these like have like the same freaking titles. So I messaged them back and I'm like, you're coming at me for like using the same title. It's completely different content. You know what I mean? It's not like I copied your content. I just like, and I said, but you guys are using the titles of part-time picker and Commonwealth picker. And like, and like, look at his title and you're like, and then they both just shut up and they, didn't respond back or anything like that. But I was like, why are you being so like Karen over this? You know what I mean?
I might rename this show tonight. Whatever, one of those titles just to get more hits.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with a goddamn real estate sale.
It would be different if I did the same exact content, and copied what they did. But it's like my estate sale was different, the content was different. And it's like if we all had to use different titles for everything, like none of us would be able to write titles anymore because like
you run out of shit.
Dude, like there's a million titles with this stuff on it,
Yeah, well, I was watching a show. I was watching those three. So it was part-time pickers, homeschooling, and the Philly Flipper. They did like a trio, like a few videos together. And the next thing you know, like we're watching it, and then all of a sudden, so like the Philly Flipper's not on it no more, but part-time picker and homeschooling are now a couple.
Oh,
so I don't know what happened there, but now they do all their shows together. Like they're on each other's shows all the time.
I saw something like that. A comment saying something about love seeing you two finally being together or something like that. So I don't wonder what happened there.
Loving the thrift store.
Right.
Not that it's not just the elevator anymore. But I mean, hey, whatever works, But
right.
Yeah, they're good together. I mean, I like watching them.
So petty. Yeah, exactly.
I do like watching them, but
Yeah. I mean, like I watch their stuff too. Like it's.
I might have a little grudge now that they mess with my boy over a title, but
no.
I'll tell my wife about that.
Like Jay Philly's point, it's just petty. It's like who cares? Like. It was funny, like the Philly Flipper guy too. He also, one of the comments he said, he goes, "This is a small community. Trust me, everyone's going to know about this."
I don't watch him. I can't watch it. I can't watch his shows at all. I really can't. But the other two I do like. But.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people. They don't think before they talk. Like,
right.
I can't believe that some people are just that stupid, but like, I don't know. What's up, Dre?
What's up? Yeah, I think we've all been there where we said something stupid. I could think of a time or two, but it is what it is. Things you got to move on, I guess. But
you send somebody a message, though, you got to like think about what you're saying first. You know,
right?
Take a step back and be like, all right, like
right, and make sure you're plucking the mote out of your own eye before you start trying to pluck it out of someone else's.
Yeah, especially if you're stealing titles from other people. I mean, don't go saying you're stealing the title,
right? Like you're accusing me, and you're doing the exact same thing.
During my toy hunt video the other day, someone was like, "You're leaving all the good stuff." I'm like, "What am I supposed to buy it all?" Like, I'm not gonna buy stuff I don't collect. Like, what?
Yeah, no. Just because you like it doesn't mean I do.
Like I was just like, did you think about that one before you said it? Like,
yeah, that's a good point. I get stuff like that too, and I'm just like, what do you think? Like, I am like a millionaire? Like, I can just buy everything? Yeah, I can work on a budget. You know what I mean?
When I was doing the toy hunts, people would say to me, "Oh, you left all the Marvel Legends." I don't fucking know what they are. I don't even buy them.
But then you know what? If you were to buy them and be like, yeah, I'm gonna pick these up so I can sell them, then you'd be bitching because you're buying them not for yourself. It's like, what do you want? Like, you pick one. Like,
well,
for an actual collector that actually wants them, or you want me to buy them and hide them from someone?
Right.
I don't get it.
Well, you guys probably saw recently I purchased that USS Flag.
Yep, I was gonna bring that up.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, let's rub that one in a little bit. Come on.
Yeah, so just real quick for everybody who's not, familiar with it. So a couple summers ago, I had a guy who was a subscriber of the channel reach out and say, "Hey, I've got a bunch of my childhood collection. I saw you, you live locally. Would you be interested in buying something?" So I ended up buying a Castle Grayskull and a Snake Mountain off him, and ended up buying a GI Joe Sky Striker off him as well for like $60. Got the Castle Grayskull for 100, got Snake Mountain for 60. So he gave me some really good deals. But then I, lost touch with him. And back towards the end of December, I guess it was, he reached out again and said, "Hey, man." Now, when I went to go get the stuff the first time, the Castle Grayskull and stuff, like, he told me, he goes, "I got a US Defiant at the house. I've got a USS Flag. I've got a Cobra Terradrome." And I knew I couldn't afford any of that, to buy any of that stuff. So I didn't even like bother making an offer on. I just knew I couldn't do it. And I told him, I was like, if I hear of anybody looking for something, I'll send them your way, So long story short, back in December, he reaches out and says, "Hey, man, I still have all that stuff. And like, if you want it," he goes, I literally just want to get rid of it. Like, I don't care about making any money on it. I know it's worth a lot of money, but I will give you an incredible deal. So he goes, "Maybe we can go out to breakfast on Saturday." So I said, "Yeah, let's do that." So we went out to breakfast, and we're sitting at breakfast, and he's like, "Hey, man, like, if you want all that stuff, $500. I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah, dude, you can have it for $500." He goes, "I don't care if you, resell it or keep it, whatever. Like, I just need it. I just want it gone." Over to his house, and then, he pulls it all out and shows it to me and stuff like that. And I did a video on it. And then he like pulls out like a couple of bins that have like all his Masters of the Universe from when he was a kid, his GI Joes, and all just, Silverhawks, bunch of stuff. And then I said, "Is this for sale too?" And he was like, "Yeah, if you want it." I said, "How about 700 for everything?" He said, "Yeah, sounds good, man." We shook on it. More than how he was like, more than how he was like, "Dude, like, I know you'll take care of it, and I know that like, you'll find a good home for it if you decide to sell it." So anyway, long story short, I bought it, and then I did the video on it, dude. And like, this guy comes on the other day, and he goes, again, calling me a scumbag. He goes, "You're a real scumbag, man." He goes, "You totally stole that from that
same guy.
Different guy." And he goes, "Scumbag seems to be the word they like to use." So
that one digs deep for some reason. I don't know why.
So he's like, "You stole that from him, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, well, I said, if you'd watch the original video, like in the video, he says like, $500. And then I offered him 700 for everything. And I said, he said like he wasn't looking to get rich off of it. And he goes, "That doesn't matter. You should have did the right thing and paid up on it and gave him what it was worth." And I was like, but if he's giving me a gift out of the kindness of his heart like that, like, it would be disrespectful for me to like shun that gift on him. Like, I don't, no. So anyway, long story short, that's how my view of it is anyway. Maybe a little biased,
I mean, who's going to go in there and say, no, let me give you 1,400?
Yeah, no, dude, let me give you like,
in this economy, dude. No
yeah,
way.
he was just like, and he was like cool with it, man. Like, he didn't care. He was like, "I just want it gone. I don't want it in my garage anymore."
Yeah, he wanted the space. He was looking for space. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just how things work, though. Like,
I know. It's not like it's not like I tricked him. And that's what the guy was getting at, that like I tricked him somehow into like only selling it for $700.
That's just straight up jealousy. And like that, you're telling me that dude, if he didn't run into a deal, he wouldn't take a deal. Like, come on, dude. Like,
he's the first one getting the damn deal.
Yeah, and that's what my wife said. She goes, he's just jealous, is what it boils down to, that he didn't get a deal like that.
He's just a troll trying to get his name out there, probably.
Yeah,
but right. You know what else? Like, what are you supposed to do? Go into Goodwill and something's marked $5 and say, "Hey, Goodwill, I've got to give you 200."
Right.
Yeah, this is
instead of selling this myself because I feel bad. No, that's the fucking price they put on it. Too
right.
Bad,
Exactly.
And he wanted space in his garage, it looked like.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted more to get the space out. Plus, like his I mean, he didn't say any of this or anything like that, but his mom passed away like 2 years ago, and all his stuff was in the garage, and his dad went in and cleaned it out, and like, I'm sure there were like maybe even like memories, kind of like, where, hey, I just want it out of here,
Yeah, right.
And he never said that. That's just, and that might not be the case at all. But like, I think, at the end of the day, He just didn't want it, and he didn't care about making any money. If he cared, like, he would have sold that Sky Striker to me for like $200.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll check this out, by the way. Let me grab this over here. So it is complete. I do have like the parachutes for him, but this is how. Look, this was sitting in his shed for like 30 years, and you can see it's still got all the dirt and grime on it. I've had this for a year and a half and haven't cleaned it yet.
It's better dirty.
But right, yeah, I actually kind of like it like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I mean, if he was like, hey man, I want to get top dollar for my stuff, you know, like he would have sold it for top dollar because he knew what that stuff was worth. But
well, like Dre is saying, part of the problem is, you know, people criticize what they see and not what the actual situation is. Like, dude, and that's just like that's across the line for everything nowadays. Like, people just make up their own like scenario in their head and they try to argue it. I just
Collecting Havoc says, I haven't been called a scumbag yet. It must still be in the minor leagues.
Keep working on it, I'm sure.
Keep making videos, man. It'll happen.
I can go into your videos and call you that if you like for a mere $20 or whatever.
Good shot.
I can be a troll if I'm bought.
You know, when it comes to like this used stuff, just because like majority of people are charging, you know, 10 grand for something doesn't mean that so and so needs to charge 10 grand for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. That's not what world does he live in?
I know, right? Well, that's like the guy that I ended up selling. So I sold the Defiant and I sold the Flag, and then like it was actually like a sell and a partial trade. So like the guy I sold it to, like my Grail goals for the year, which I got to set some new goals now, but was to get a Kraken, a Clash of the Titans Kraken from 1980, which I've got it right back. You guys want to see it real quick?
Oh yeah.
Let me grab it here real quick. So I got.
I mean, very few people have space to display that flag anyway.
Look at this thing, dude.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so he ended up going to a place in Minnesota, or actually in Michigan, called Sarge and Reds. I think they actually have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
And that's where he ended up buying this.
That was pretty fresh and minty too.
So it was $900. So
yeah.
And then I also got the Shogun Godzilla.
Nice.
So what I ended up doing was
that's one with the lever in the back of the head.
Yeah, dude,
I remember that.
Yeah, dude. So what we did is he ended up paying about $500 in cash, and then did those pieces. So the Shogun was, I think, $600. So it was like $1,500. So it was like $2,000 total was kind of what it. Plus he paid the shipping on it. It was $350 to ship the Flag. I'm still trying to figure out the Defiant because it's like so big, and like I'm going to get it shipped to him sometime here in the next couple of weeks, but we're trying to figure out the logistics of it. But long story short, that Flag alone like goes for like $2,000, $2,500. You know what I mean? So like I gave him a good deal on it.
Right.
So he got the Defiant and I got to make his dreams come true as well. So like, you know, Patrick, by selling that to me, allowed me to get my Grail stuff, which made some dreams come true. And then with Dr. Elra, I ended up like, you know, he's always wanted a Flag. So ends up he got it at a great price, you know. So it wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, dude, you're gonna pay $2,500 for the Flag and another $800 for the Defiant. You know what I mean? Like I passed that extra, you know, those deals on to him as well. So
yeah,
there's a like that Kraken. There's a company, I think it's called Star Ace. They do like 1/6 scale and random stuff, but they have a line for the original Clash of the Titans movie, and they have like a Medusa.
Oh, do they really?
Oh, the Medusa would be cool.
Sideshow actually had a couple of them on sale recently, and I was like sitting there like ready to order because that's like I remember that. I always used to watch that movie growing up with my mom.
I know, dude. That's such a great movie.
They even sell the owl. They have the owl, like a.
Oh, no way! I love that little owl, dude. That little metal owl. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Like Bobo or something.
Yeah, Bobo. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a life-size one, and it looks all metal and everything. It's cool. I'm gonna get one eventually. I just haven't done it yet.
Jay Philly, I just want to know when my dreams are gonna come true.
Oh, it'll come, man.
Yeah, what you think
Burf,
about
make
what
his
you bring
dreams come
about,
true.
you know?
Well, and like Collecting Havoc said, like, you know, when it comes to like selling used stuff, it's only worth what people are willing to pay for it at the time. Just because, you know, you could have whatever, anything, you could have it just because it sold for 10 grand to that seller doesn't mean the next one that comes up is going to sell for 10 grand. You got to find a buyer that's willing to pay whatever he's going to pay.
It's like Collecting Havoc just said, you know, things are only worth what you're willing to pay. Yeah. Honestly, that's true. I mean, if it means something to you and it's something that you love, you pay what you want, what you can afford. I mean,
look at those guys that dig up the dinosaur bones. Like, you know, like there's one, I was watching that show. They had one T-Rex sold, you know, well, they've been sitting on a T-Rex for like over 10 years because they think it's worth, you know, millions of dollars because the last one sold for that. Well, there's nobody willing to pay that now.
Pay that, right?
That's not, you know, it's really not.
Right. Yeah. And that's like such a good point. It's just whatever it's worth, whatever the person looking to buy it is willing to pay.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Some of these.
Speaking of, I saw where White Monkey said the only time I get called a scumbag is by the YouTube community guidelines people. That guy that went off on me about taking advantage of the guy with the flag. I had a few choice words with him as well, like some dropped some F-bombs and other stuff in there. And this morning when I logged into YouTube, there was a message on there that said some recent comments you've made have gone against our community guidelines, and we're letting you know that if you continue with these actions, we will terminate your channel.
Jeez.
So I was like,
scumbag didn't count.
Good boy.
Like, where are you when these people are throwing shit at me? Like, come on.
I know, right?
Yeah, he started it.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, he called you a scumbag, and then you go back with like "fuck you, dude," and then you get in trouble.
Yep.
The way
I was
of the
watching
world
an
right
episode
now.
of Leave It to Beaver a couple nights ago.
Oh, I love Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, so Beaver has a friend called Whitey.
Oh yeah, and, Whitey Whitney. Yeah.
Whitey Whitney. Yep.
Double W.
And he so there was a bully at school, and the bully, and he has what's Beaver's his friend's name? He's the chubby kid. I can't remember.
Larry Mondello.
Larry, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I don't want
Larry's like the worst friend ever, dude.
Ask
like,
me anything.
He really is. He's always getting Beaver in trouble. And
yeah,
shit,
he is. He's like, remember, he's like climbing to that coffee cup up there on the billboard, and he fucking got stuck up there.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing stuff like that.
He's always doing shit like that.
So Larry starts mouthing off to the bully, and Whitey's standing in between, right? So the bully ends up like taking Whitey and shoving him into Larry. So then Larry takes Whitey and he shoves him back into the bully, and there's this shoving back and forth with Whitey, you know, and Whitey's little, you know, he's like a little, and so ends up when Beaver comes home from school, he's telling his mom that, like, you know, there was a fight today at school, and he goes on to say, he goes, yeah, Larry was mouthing off to whatever the bully's name was, and blah blah blah, and Whitey ended up in the principal's office. So it was like those two were fighting, but Whitey was the one that went to the principal's. Like he was the one getting shoved around, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that, you know.
Yeah. I love that show, dude.
So
that is a good show, man.
The Man Collects was called a glorified hunt monkey. Dude, that sounds like something you put on a t-shirt, man. I'd get that. That should be your channel. You got to use that to your advantage, man.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, you know what? Next time somebody says something, just say thanks for watching, because obviously he's watching still.
Right.
You know, so you know what? And that hurts more. That probably hurts more than saying like "fuck you, dude." Because
that's what my wife says. She's always like smarter than I am, you know. But she said the same thing. She's like, you know, the thing is, like, he wants you to engage like that. So like she goes, the best thing to do is when they do stuff is just like, she goes, do what I do. Like, don't even respond, but just block them immediately, because now they left the comment out there and they don't know if you ever read it. You know, they have no idea, but all they know is that, like, you know, they can't access your channel anymore, you know. So, but there was
just say, don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
Right.
You know,
sometimes like the most I'll do is I'll thumbs up and like their comment and heart their comment. but I don't engage them at all because that they win at the
that's what they want.
And like Collecting Havoc saying, all YouTube cares about is engagement. So them, even if they leave you a shitty video or give you a thumbs down, whatever, it's still engagement.
Right.
You got me wanting to talk some Leave It to Beaver now. Shit.
Yeah, oh, dude. So
I love it.
I'll tell you, like I've been watching quite a bit of it over the last few weeks and stuff like that, and I've picked up some things as an adult that like I didn't. See, number one, Ward, he likes the ladies.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, there's several episodes where he's like kind of hinting that like he might want to tap that. Like,
did you ever see the one? Did you ever see the one where like Beaver did something and then he was like really he was really like yelling at him like you should have done that, and then June says, "Hey Ward, don't be so hard on the Beaver." I thought that was the funniest fucking thing ever.
Don't be so hard on the Beaver.
Don't be so hard on the Beaver. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And my dad pointed that out to me when he was when he was here. We watched it together, and he was like, "Did you hear what he just said?"
That's awesome.
Damn right.
That'd be a good T-shirt too. Well, another thing too, speaking of dads, and like the other thing too, I've kind of figured out is that Ward actually came from an abusive home.
Oh, really?
So like there have been several comments in different talking about how hard his dad was on him and how he didn't really like his dad and that his dad would beat him. Like it was like, I was like, oh wow, like him and his dad like, didn't have a good relationship, and it sounds like he got beat like more than just the regular beating. But there have been some things that I've picked up on as an adult that I would have never,
Yeah,
that's like with Disney movies and everything. You can watch them as a kid and you can watch them as an adult. They got two different. It's like
right.
Yeah, like Pee-wee's Playhouse. That was raunchy, but I didn't know back then.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
They watch it now. You're like, holy shit, they got away with this.
Dang. So White Monkey is saying that Microsoft is discontinuing making Xboxes. They're going to be a third-party publisher of digital games.
Hang on to your physical media. Interesting.
Wow. Crazy.
Doesn't affect me. I don't play video games anymore because I bought a PlayStation 5 like last year. Remember that, Colin? And I'm trying to play it, and I'm like, I had the one where you put the disc in. Because I don't like downloading shit and all that. So I put the disc in, and I'm still waiting an hour and a half for it to download in there. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? Like, I'm telling my wife, I'll be up there playing for like an hour and a half. I go down, and she's like, well, how was it? I'm like, I don't know. The shit's still downloading. That's all I had time to do. So maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
I don't play a lot of video games, but every once in a while, like a game will come out, and I'll get into it for a while. Like it was like a couple weekends ago, I woke up and I was like, man, I just feel like playing Red Dead Redemption. And I got stuck almost playing it all day, man. Like I had nothing else to do. I love it, But I can't play a lot. Like, so I'll always have a video game system, especially, and then, my kid always will have one, but yeah, I mean, we kind of could see the whole physical media thing going away, but it doesn't suck.
Yeah, I actually watched a video on Instagram the other day, and this guy had a pair of kind of like an Oculus setup, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But he had a giant 100-inch TV screen that was not really there. It was just a digital version through the goggles. And he was showing, he's like, look, like this thing looks like it's in my house. He goes like, I want to reach out and grab it. And he goes to reach out and you see his hand go right through it,
That's that Apple Vision thing where you can move the screen.
Yeah, and then over here was the internet. He had his Twitter pulled up and he was able to do this and scroll. And I was like,
I know, dude. I want one of those. That thing is dope. It's like $4,000 though.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's
wow. Yeah, it'll eventually be affordable for everybody. Dude, when we first got married in 2005, so my as a wedding gift, my wife's uncle bought us a big screen TV, and it was just like, like a 48-inch or whatever. Dude, it was $2,500.
Oh yeah,
in 2005, and now you can get them for like $500.
Well, do you remember?
Yeah, you can go into Walmart and just get one for $100.
When Plasma TVs first came out, I remember looking at the ad and seeing like $10,000 TVs, dude. Like it was when it first came out, they were fucking expensive.
Yeah,
I mean, you can go get a 70-inch for like $300 if you really want to at Walmart.
Yeah.
I saw an old catalog with VCRs in it, and they were like $1,000 back in the 1980s.
Dude, our first VCR, I remember going into John Wanamaker's. I don't know if that's a store that's well known across the country or not, but it was here it was in Delaware.
I like the name.
I remember me and my dad walking in getting our first VCR for $680.
Well, VHS tapes were super expensive too. That's why you rented them.
Yeah, because we asked the guy, should we get the beta or the VHS? And he was like, go VHS. Beta won't be around. And he was right. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like, thank God he was right.
Yeah. And this was a pop.
Could you imagine if he talked to you guys into
get the beta, dude? I'm like, this fucker, go back to John Wanamaker's, kick his ass. Like,
well, like White Monkey saying, people wearing those Apple Visions outside. That shit wouldn't be leaving my house. There's no way. There's going to be people getting jumped for those things.
Yeah. The part they don't tell you, it probably takes 3 hours to download everything. So every time you turn it on. So no thanks.
Well, I'm very impatient. But the game is it only takes that long when you first get the game. I mean, after that, the shit loads up real fast.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Figure Fever says, "Oh yeah, renting the VHS movies was costly." Yeah, no, renting them in the beginning was, and so was like buying the movies. It was like if I remember, I think it was like $50 if you wanted to buy a movie.
I know they were really expensive. That's why you rent. That's why
you rented them, right?
That's why you rented them.
I remember when the first rental store popped up in our town too. It was actually it was just a trailer that somebody had converted into a store, and it was just you'd walk in there, and there were like 3 rows, like as long as the trailer. Of just VHS,
I remember like going in there with a friend of mine, and I would always try to ease my way back to the curtained out area where you can see all the XXX movies, but you try to get a glimpse of one of the covers through the little curtain,
right?
And when they're like 12, 13-year-olds trying to get like a boob or something, I don't know.
When I was in college, there was a store that had the curtain, and I would go back there and buy the movies and stuff, or rent the movies and stuff. But I remember one time when I went in and I didn't see anybody, like the person who was usually a dude that was there working the counter, and I'd go in and buy it and check it. Well, this time I went in, I couldn't see anybody in the store, and went back there, grabbed that, came out, and it was some girl I went to high school with that was working there. I just remember being embarrassed.
Pervert.
Waiting for her to ask me if I wanted to buy a box of tissues as well.
How long were you back there, Burf? Comes out all sweaty.
Right.
And guilty looking.
Oh, you probably can't see him because he's probably, I don't know what channel you're watching. If you're watching from EC Collecting, you won't be able to see Well-It and Figures, or vice versa. That's the one thing I hate about streaming to 2 different channels is the chats are separate.
Yeah, he's double dipping. This is what we get.
I'm not gonna do it for much longer. I just was doing it because we just started back up again. But I think
you're a scumbag, dude. You're trying to get. No, I'm just kidding. Right? That's funny. Yeah, those stores. I miss going in those stores, dude.
Me too, dude. Like going
now, you just go on Netflix and you're disappointed. But at least you got there, got a movie, went home. And I don't remember very many times where I was disappointed, like getting a horror movie or anything.
Right.
I was always happy with what I picked up. It was always good.
I loved going to rent movies. That was awesome. It was like a whole ordeal. Like, we're going to the movie store. Let's go. You rent your movie, then you pick out snacks.
Yeah.
Right? You base picks off of like what you see on the front and back of the movie.
Right.
Some milk duds in a horror movie I was in.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. Then they wouldn't have your movie, and they'd be all sad. But
yeah, they would just have like the
the
picture of what of what it was there. Yeah.
And you go in like wah 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 wah.
Right. That always sucked. And then sometimes you have to get on the wait list. Well, can I get on the wait list for it?
Right. A batch would come in, and you'd be like sitting there checking to make sure it wasn't the one you want.
Right.
I still go through that sometimes because there's like a movie I want to watch, and I'm like, it's not like streaming yet for free, and it's like $20 still, and I'm like, I'm not paying $20 for that. So it's the same feeling as not having the video there, but not quite, because
Right.
it was
There
just so
was
much fun going in there.
A store in our town. So like the town I grew up in Pennsylvania was pretty small. There was like it's like 700 people in our town. And the way it was, there were like little pockets of town. So I grew up in a town called Robinson that had about 700 people. And then there was a river. And on the other side of the river, there was another town called Bolivar. And they had like maybe like 500 people in that town. And then like 10 miles down the road, there was another little town called New Florence that had like 1,500 people. So there were like these little pockets of towns, right? But there was a store in our town known as Wayne's Market, but everybody called it Cookies. That was his nickname, Cookie Lickenfels. And but like that guy, man, during the 1980s, he had the market cornered, dude. Like not only did he have the convenience store, and like he had like they had like a butcher in there as well, so you could get all your fresh meats and stuff like that. But like also he had movie rentals, and then he got brought in video games, and then he ended up having installed like a little kitchen where you could come and order like hamburgers or wings and stuff like that, dude. And like he had the biggest house in town, but he also had the only store in the area,
Yeah.
But then like places like Walmart moved in and stuff like that, and it like just diminished all that stuff, and it's like it doesn't even exist anymore. Last time it existed when I was home to visit in 2019, the store was still there, but it was like kind of like on its last legs. And then when I went back last year to visit, it was just gone, but I always said, man, like if you could have something like that and go into a small town where they don't have anything like dude, there's not even a gas station nearby. Like you got to drive like 15 miles to get to a gas station. But like point being is that like I think there's opportunity to like make money in small towns like that if you do it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what else I miss, talking about like things like the store, the video store? I miss the catalogs too.
Yeah.
Dude,
when the Sears catalog came in,
the
so much fun.
JCPenney's catalog, it was like that thick.
Yeah.
Before Christmas every year, dude.
And you just go in circling shit and hope that mom and dad see it, like
my mom got me one as a Christmas gift this year. She got me the 1983 Sears catalog. Dude, it was so cool to like just open it up and like look at the toys that came out in 1980. They say the best one, if anybody's interested, the best one they say is the 1986 Sears catalog. Like when I was a kid, like I think we had Sears and JCPenney. Those were the two that we had, But like the 86 Sears catalog, like so it's got Mask, Thundercats, He-Man, G.I. Joe. It's got Sectars in it. Like it's got like just about every line, there were obviously things missing in the 83 catalog that like I had as a kid, but they came like in 84, 85, 86 sort of thing.
Yeah. I remember the Montgomery Ward one too. Did you have a Montgomery Ward?
Yep, we did.
Yeah, that was fun because I remember ordering from Montgomery Ward. They had these little, I guess they were about 8-inch football player figures, and they had like different team uniforms, and the helmet came off, and it was the same head under every one of them. So it was the
starting lineup figures.
No, this is before that. These were like
before that.
The elbows move, the knees move, the head turns, the helmet comes off. But I wish I still had them, but like they were rubber band joints. So, but every face was the same on all of them. But it just had all 28 teams. It was 28 teams back then.
Wow, dude, that's cool.
But yeah, they were cool. I love those things, man.
Hey,
I used to play with those for hours.
We had a department store called Hills, is where we used to do our Christmas shopping and stuff like that. Like they even had you can look up some commercials on YouTube. Like you can put in like Hills toy commercial, and they had like a little jingle of like Hills is where the toys are, and then like they had layaway. So like my mom, I remember going with my mom back to the layaway department where she would go back and make. I didn't get to see what we were getting for Christmas, but we would go back there and she would be making a payment on the layaway, They were also known as the anti-inflation store. So they had like pretty cheap prices.
We need one of those now.
I know, dude. We do. Oh my, like
I think Ross might be it, I guess, for now.
Yeah, for right now, yeah, dude. Like if as far as toys, well, even just like even their clothes and stuff. Like after spending Christmas there, like toy hunting, I was like, wow, there's like they got good brands here and
oh yeah, couple of times that I was in there doing toy hunts, I walked out with a new winter jacket one day. I walked with a full pair of pants one day.
Yeah.
I always find like shoes and stuff that I want there, but they never have my size.
I can never find shit in there either. Like even when everybody was finding all these cool like Star Wars toys and all kinds of stuff,
you couldn't
find Ross that I've been in here, nothing.
There was some people I saw saying the same thing. Their Ross just never got anything, you know.
You gotta go like every day too, you know, like because it doesn't. It's not like they get a ton of it either, you know. Like
right,
you got everybody looking for it. You got to be competitive, you know.
Right. Yeah, like right now, like I've seen people saying like Snake Eyes and Timber, which is like a $40 figure at Walmart. You know, it's like it's showing up for $11.99 now at Ross. I've stopped in a couple because I got a buddy that's looking for it, so I told him I'd keep an eye out. I haven't seen it yet, but there have been several people. Some people in my Goody Wheel gang on my Facebook group, a couple guys posted up that they had found one at Ross.
Yeah. Oh, Service Merchandise, the First Sister said. I remember that store too.
Kmart
that was great.
Which store was it? Service Merchandise? I never heard of
it was like I guess you could kind of, it's like a QVC store type thing. They had like all kinds of electronics and all different things in there.
Yeah.
But I remember getting our speakers for our big screen there. And me and my dad walked in there and he was like, these are it. And these speakers were like 4 feet tall. I'm like, shit. Back then that was normal to have these 4-foot speakers next to your TV.
Right.
All the department stores, you know, you go in there and they had everything. You know, like
I know.
It's one of my malls right now. I went in there and there was like none of the stores I ever remembered. They're like all these like weird ass like bougie stores. I'm like, how the hell are you guys affording to stay in the mall, but like the top name brand stores can't afford to stay here?
Right.
They're all gone. Like,
right.
It's like it's sad. Like you go in there.
It's
like
really when I was sad. Back visiting my parents in 2019, we went to the old mall where we used to go shopping when I was a kid and stuff. And it was like, dude, it was almost like a ghost town.
Yeah.
There were so many stores that were just closed. And like, you know, there was a handful. It was so quiet in there when you were walking. There was like, you know, just a handful of people walking around. And I've seen some of these videos too on YouTube of these old abandoned malls, like in Detroit and stuff like, dude, like they're spooky, dude.
Oh yeah, we got one. We got one here in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Me and my wife were in Christiana Mall. It's like a local mall. It's in Delaware, close to me. Last week, excuse me, and being like my age, I remember the mall how it used to be, and now I see the way it is. So back in the day, you know how we used to have the mall. It was just the stores. It was, you know, shoe stores, shirt stores, whatever. Now you got people getting massages in the main part of the mall. You got eyebrows getting ripped out and put back in. You got cannabis stores here. You got. It's like like if you came from the past to the mall now, you'd be like, "Holy shit, what happened?"
What happened?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's like an alternate 1985. You know, it's a weird thing, man. Like
incense stores, like
like smoke shops, and
dude, there's literally a store where all they have are like those cheap Chinese plushies, like
yeah,
like stuff like that, dude. Like, what the. How do you?
It's like who's buying that? How do you stay in business? Is there really that much business for stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I just don't. They got to be like fronts or something, dude. Like
yeah, like what's stuffed in those little stuffed animals?
Right.
I see. Where was it? I want to say the First Sister says, "I miss music stores the most." Like what? So we had a music store called The Wall.
Yeah, wall-to-wall sound and video, wasn't it?
Well, ours was just called The Wall.
That's when they shortened it, I think.
Oh, did they shorten? Okay, it was originally wall-to-wall sound and video.
Wall-to-wall sound and video, yeah.
And then, did you guys have any other?
Sam Goody.
I didn't have that.
I remember I missed Suncoast, man, because I used to get like a lot of movies from there, and they also would get all the cool NECA figures at that time.
I want to say there's still a Suncoast, or there recently was a Suncoast.
I think there are still some Suncoasts out there, but they're all gone here.
Speaking of that stuff too, like I saw where I think it's in Florida. There's like still one Kmart still standing, and one of them closed in 2019. So there was like 6 left in the whole country, and I think there's only like 1 left right now. But like I was like, that's crazy. Like just to like what happened there? You know what I mean? Like, because it was such an empire.
Yeah. Our Kmart's now at Ollie's.
Yeah.
They turned it into an Ollie's, but I still remember going to that Kmart. Into the toy section and stuff. It sucks that it's gone. All the good stores are gone, man.
The Montgomery wards that we had, they had like a very tiny toy section at our Montgomery wards. It wasn't.
Yeah, they were more catalog based, I think.
And I remember like picking up a couple of Star Wars figures and stuff while we were there. My dad was looking at tools and stuff in the tool section. I remember getting like some Return of the Jedi toys, but yeah, they didn't have a whole lot. We had a Woolworths in our area.
Yeah, I love Woolworths.
That's actually where I got my my first fish. My grandmother bought me a fish tank for my birthday and got me some fish. And within 3 days, I had killed all of them because
nice.
I had turned the heater up to heat up the water.
Oh yeah, you fried them bastards.
But the cool thing is like when she found out, she took me back to Woolworths and we bought more fish.
Yeah, I remember going to Woolworths. Remember they had the little diners inside.
They had what inside? Oh yeah, the little diner. Yeah,
they had the best freaking cheeseburgers and hot dogs in the Woolworths.
Yeah, right. I remember eating like their fries and stuff like that. Yeah.
And like if you go in there and get a cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate shake, that's a good day. And then go shopping with your mom. That's what we used to do.
Right.
Like she would bribe me with like, let's go get a cheeseburger. And then by the way, I'm going to be in Woolworths for 3 hours buying shit. Okay, whatever,
Well, me and Collected Havoc, we were at a toy show that they put on in like the middle of the mall a few weeks ago. And we go to the food court and like, I would say like 70% of the food court was closed. Like there was no food places. I'm like, dude, it was like a ghost town. I'm like, what? And this was like it was in Brookfield, which is like a ritzier area where, people got money, dude. And the mall is like a ghost town.
There's a mall down in Myrtle Beach when I go down for vacation that's,
oh my God.
It's in North Myrtle Beach. And there's only like one food store or two. And then one collectible store that's really cool, and it's all the way down the other end. So you have to walk through like the Walking Dead part of the mall to get there. It actually reminds me of like an apocalypse that happened because there may be like 1 or 2 other people with their hands behind their back, just walking around with nothing else to do, just looking around. And then me and my wife trying to make it to this store because there's one cool ass store in there that sells collectibles. And actually, if you watch what's his name? Big Dub. He goes to the same store in Myrtle Beach when he does his toy hunts down there. And he's walking through this entire ghost town of a mall to get to this one store. And I'm like, move the store closer to the entrance. Like, Jesus, you're buried in the back. Like, it's a long walk. But there's nothing there. It's crazy.
There's a guy in the chat. Kerr Conkle says, "Go Browns." So so this guy,
they went all right.
Man, first of all, Kerr, what's up, buddy? It's been a long time since I've talked to you. So I was friends. So I've got a couple of Facebook accounts, and one of them I'm not really on much anymore. And that was the one I was friends on him with. But my mom actually met this guy through. So not like they're just friends, right? But she met the way she came across this, right?
However you want to put it.
Yeah, if you're watching, they're just friends.
No judgment here.
But
Dad, check on it. Get your phone.
Yoville. So there was a game on Facebook that was called Yoville, like back in the early 2010s, whatever. And my mom met that dude on Yoville in like a virtual, and they became friends on Facebook. So anyway, he's a Browns fan. I'm a Steelers fan. So. But hey, what's up, buddy? I haven't talked to him in years.
That's cool.
So you're not a Cowboys fan, eh?
No, not a Cowboys.
Hell no. He wouldn't be on this show if he was a Cowboys fan. I have to put an end to this friendship.
Yeah, if the Steelers get knocked out, like I've got some friends that are Cowboys fans because I live in Dallas and stuff, and I'll just sometimes just out of common courtesy, like root for them because of them, but I'm not a fan at all.
Yeah. Well, the fun part is they got knocked out early too, so we don't have to worry about all
dude.
that. Yeah.
So crazy, man. They just
so did my Eagles though.
They did. Yeah, Eagles.
My Eagles shit the bed towards the end of the season. I don't know what the hell happened to them, but
I
don't worry about it as much as I used to.
Have you seen some of this stuff on Instagram and YouTube about like the NFL being rigged?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Some of it's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know. I actually think there's something to this. People might think I'm crazy.
There might be.
Over the last couple of years, like we've seen some pretty immaculate one-hand catches, like in the league, like way over the top shit. Like we're like, oh my god, And there's been like a lot of them. There's a whole theory that the gloves and the ball are magnetic, and that the NFL has done that to like help increase viewership because of the insane, crazy catches guys are making and stuff like that. I don't know if there's anything to it, but I've seen some stuff where it was like where the ball like hit the guy's hand and it like literally just like it just like looked like it's just stuck. You know what I mean? And there used to be things years ago where they had, they got like stick-em on their hand gloves and stuff like that. But I don't know, dude. Like, and plus, like, I saw some stuff with the referees where when this certain group of referees like ref a game, like only 38% of the time do the home teams win. And where the normal league average is like, if the home teams win, like, 60% with the other refs. I don't know. There's just some weird stuff.
A lot of the rig stuff, like it's really hard not to believe it, but then like it would be so hard to get all those players on board with that. Like I think it could be done is like if they did it through the refs, like
they only pass out a few magnetic gloves, maybe. I don't know.
Right. They don't even know they have magnetic gloves.
Well, what's interesting too is that the NFL is not registered as a sports league. It's registered as an entertainment league. Like a sport. It's not even sports entertainment. It's just registered as an entertainment industry, which is very similar to like WWE, and stuff like that. So there are some theories that like maybe these guys they go into it knowing. But then, like you said, you would think somebody would come forward, right?
Yeah.
At some point, like they get disgruntled and be like, "Fuck that!" Unless I don't know, unless they're like, "Hey, if you breathe a word, we're gonna kill you and your whole family."
Right.
Because maybe the mob's involved. I don't know.
I mean, WWE did it years ago because they wanted like to sanction a wrestling event at certain states and cities. It cost a lot of money in case of injury. So instead of calling it a sport, they had less sanctioning if they called it a entertainment, sports entertainment.
Okay.
That's why you very rarely see blood, very rarely on WWE. Except last night, I think Cody Rhodes was bleeding after the show, but that's why they did that, because there was like big sanctions in New York City and all the big towns where, the insurance for this was a lot of money, and McMahon didn't want to put that out. So he was like, let's call it sports entertainment. So now we don't have to pay all them big sanctions.
Big money, right?
But like, you know what? And this was my next thing, White Monkey, the Taylor Swift thing. That's why I'm not watching football. I hate the fuck. Every time that guy catches the ball, what's his name? Kelsey.
Well, dude.
Here comes Taylor. I said, watch. Taylor Swift's going to be on the screen.
Or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah. Here she is cheering and hugging people and shit. I don't want to see her face anymore. I'm done with her.
Okay, so have you guys ever seen? So, like White Monkey left the comment there. Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Okay, have you guys ever seen the talking head video of all the different media like during like the election? They were like, they take all the different channel 6, channel 9, Fox, and put all these different news anchors together, and they're all repeating the exact same thing on every channel across the nation. Have you ever seen that? Okay, I'll share.
Not that I can remember.
Okay, so it's like something like we're keeping the world safe for democracy, and then but they're all saying it simultaneously, like they've all been given a script to like read, right?
Yeah.
So it's a psyop, right? So it's like it's all propaganda because they want you to they want everybody to get the same message in their head over and over. Well, White Monkey shared a video on his channel. I think it was him with Taylor Swift, where they had every news dude, hundreds of news stations talking about saying Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not, and if they're all saying it like in unison, like they put all the clips together.
Yeah, I saw that.
Creepy, dude. Like, and it's
brainwash us.
So maybe she is a psyop.
One of the
trying to convince you that she's not. I
have a different name for it, but I'm not going to say it. But a psycho, maybe, or something. But yeah, I'm just not a fan. I mean, they do this shit all the time. Like they beat things into the ground. Okay, we know he is with her. Right. We don't need to see her face every time you catch a ball. Right? We don't need to see this.
Right.
In my opinion, I'm just sick of it. That's why I was rooting so hard against the Chiefs, because I'm like, I'm tired of seeing her. I don't care less about if they win or lose. Yeah. I'm not going to watch a Super Bowl because I know she's going to show up over and over and over. And when they're doing like their speech at the end when they win, because you know they're going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to come down to the field and probably do like an impromptu concert.
Right.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
You never know. She may pull like Tupac and Michael Jackson. A Biggie. They might all come out with her. Who knows?
Dude, like I'm expecting her to come out because like part of the whole thing of the Taylor Swift people saying she's a psyop, right? So we've got that Kelso guy who's Mr. COVID, right? Mr. Pfizer is what they call him, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
he's the one that gets the Pfizer commercials.
Go get your shot,
Yeah, fuck you and your shot.
So there's that. So, but they say like she's one of the most influential people on the planet. And there is speculation that like she's also and actually not even speculation, over the last like year or two, like she's become very liberal, right? So they may use that platform for her to say vote for Joe Biden sort of thing. You know what I mean? So like there's that whole thing where like they think like they're going to use her. And there's actually the World Health, not World Health, but the World Economic Forum. There are video clips of them at the World Economic Forum talking about using her as a way to influence America.
I don't put nothing past them.
Yeah, dude.
They're probably going to change the team to the Kansas City Swifts. Right? I mean, I wouldn't even put it past them, dude. It's crazy. Right
wow,
now.
Kelsey was paid $25 million by Pfizer, more than his NFL salary.
He probably didn't even get the shot.
Yeah.
Did you see the commercial where he got the flu shot and the
yes?
COVID? You'll die if you get them at the same time,
dude. It'll
kill you.
Yeah, I don't trust any of it.
Do not get those two at the same time, people.
Yeah,
trust me, you will keel over. There's no way, dude.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Have a good
putting this shit on TV for people to see.
Thanks for joining us. Dude, I just got a notification. My Mondo man bat shipped. I had no idea.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Your Mondo man bag?
Yeah, man bat.
The man bat. The man bag.
You got a man bag coming.
Man bag.
Your purse?
Yeah.
Colin, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He got so much shit pre-ordered. He don't even he forgets he ordered it.
Well, they originally said it was supposed to come like December, and then I got an email saying, which I didn't expect. They always get pushed, but I didn't get emails since then, so I didn't know. And all of a sudden, a thing just popped up like a couple minutes ago, like your order has shipped. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
man.
I'm still waiting for my my bus, my Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader bus with the damaged helmet. It said December. Then it said January. Now it says February. I'm like, hello, it's February. Where is it?
Dude, I don't even worry about them anymore. When they come, they come. Because
usually I do, but that one I really can't wait to get.
Oh, I know. I know how you feel. Nice. Definitely. Yeah. You like, if you beat yourself up and they just keep changing dates.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter ordered something back in March. She plays a game called Identity 5. It's an app. It's a fun game, but they had like this special kit of like goodies that you could buy. But she ordered it back in March and it just came like 2 weeks ago. So like, she was like super excited. But to your point, Colin, because I'm like, hey, is your package? You know if it's coming? She's like, it'll get here when it gets here, Dad. You know.
Oh, nice. She's a patient.
I'm like, I'm the one that's like, where is it? Like, I want to see it.
Calm down, father. Don't be so hard on the beaver. Oh man. That's funny shit. Mondo Man Bag. That's gonna be the name of this show today.
Mondo Man Bag.
I'm gonna carry him around, dude.
Is it one of them frontal bags or is it like a backpack? Mondo Man Bag.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Well, dude, we're almost an hour and a half. I wish we could do this all night because, like, when you're on here, it's so much fun, man.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, man. So come back again anytime.
All right.
Come back permanently. Shit, I don't care. Like, we can have fun every week.
How often do you guys do these?
Once a week.
Once a week right now? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some commitment, man.
We try.
Yeah.
We're trying to get back into the rhythm.
Like, we'll start like getting back into it, but like once we get moving, like going,
Right. Yeah. Is the hardest part like just like lining people up to talk with, or do you guys ever do it just yourselves, or do you always have a guest?
We used to like do a mix, but it's kind of fun always having a guest because you know talk.
Yeah, get that extra dynamic.
Yeah. It's fun having a guest, but it's. Normally, the people we ask, they're pretty like receptive to coming on. So I've only had a few who like ghosted me, which it's fine. I mean, I'd rather you tell me beat it. But when you read the message and then don't answer, it's kind of annoying. But we've only had a couple like that. But usually people jump on it, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
And then people like you keep coming back, and we love the conversation. It's really a good time when you come on, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Come on.
I enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah, man. Come back anytime. Let me see what we got next week. Next week's going to be a fun show. You should tune in for this one, Burf. So let me get my show straight here. Let me see. So Salacious Rum.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that channel.
Yeah, he's coming on with us next week. So that should be a real shit show. So
it's Salacious Rum.
Rum, right.
Yep. That's gonna be we're having a wild. This is gonna be a wild show.
Yeah.
Speaking of that type of stuff, real quick before we go, are you guys familiar with the guy Spectre Creative? So like he was like a guy. So there was a so he had a YouTube channel. He was like actually an insider at Mattel. So he worked at Mattel like back during the He-Man days and all that stuff like that, right? And he had a really educational channel, like, and he would kind of like talk about like stories of like, his experiences in Mattel, and then also like some of the history, like setting some of the canon straight for He-Man and other lines and whatnot. So anyway, apparently, in his video, like he would like, if he was going to talk about like, let's say something Star Wars related or something like that, he would go and just grab a picture of a Star Wars figure off of Google, like we all do, and like apparently some guy who has he had a website where he was posting pictures of the different photography he was taking of his action figures. Spectre Creative had used some of those things in his YouTube channel, and that guy reported, instead of like just messaging Spectre Creative and saying like, hey bro, like those are my figures, like my pictures, like maybe give me some credit or something like that, or can you edit that bit, can you edit it out and remove it? He ended up reporting it to YouTube, and YouTube ended up just completely shutting down his channel because of copyright strikes. So and it was just like, man, he had built up like his channel, like dude, that would be so crushing. Like he had like thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, and then like just gone because some dude. I mean, that's what I do sometimes when I use B-roll footage. Like I go and grab a picture of something or a video clip and just put it in,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess if somebody has a a hair up their ass, they can record
that's
it.
True.
And,
You know what? I was gonna mention, like, I love what you do on your videos anymore, and I think you started this about a year ago. Like when you pick something up, like just for example, I think My Little Pony or something like that. I think you picked some of those up
I
before.
picked that up recently.
And then you go back and you do like this whole commercial type thing from the original commercial that they had and all that. And the way you explain it, I really love that way you do that. It's a lot of editing, I'm sure, but it's really cool to see like the old commercial and then you explain like the history. Of everything. I enjoy that.
I was doing that for a little while and then I stopped. It's funny. It's so weird, dude, because it's like, to your point, like you're like, wow, I really like that. And then I had people that were like, dude, I really don't like that at all. Like, I like it when you're just more natural and you're not, because I was using Chat GPT to like get that information. So I would go to Chat GPT and be like, give me a history of My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Right. And then it spit something out. And then I would just kind of like read it as I was like showing the My Little Ponies or whatever, stuff like that. But anyway, some people don't like it, but it is a lot of editing. So I kind of stopped doing it. But also I was getting more people telling me they didn't like it than people telling me they did.
I guess the younger folks might not like it, but people like me who remember those commercials, maybe that's the dynamic. Right? I don't know what it is, but I really enjoyed it because like some of the G.I. Joe commercials.
That's good to hear because you always hear the negative side of things. People, when people like stuff, they don't tell you. When they hate it, they do.
And on the opposite side, I like what you used to do, like when you went to Canada and all that, and was just the raw video, like that was it,
right.
And just being yourself. I love that too. But I guess for me, the commercials and all that history, that's what
some of that history
kind of struck me with that. Okay. It was kind of like, I remember that commercial, that G.I. Joe commercial where that kid's playing with that, that tank on that hill or whatever. And it brings it back to me like instantly, like I'm watching it live, like back in the day in the 80s.
Right.
But I just thought I'd bring that up. But it was cool. Your videos either way are cool, but I just
real
like
quick,
that dynamic.
I just will say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep like
no, you're good
extending this, but these guys are in the chat talking about Junkman. That's where I heard about it today too. I saw the Junkman video on the Spectre Creative thing. Kind of gave a breakdown of what happened.
Sounds kind of familiar. Maybe I've seen him before.
Junkman, he's got like 30,000 some subscribers and whatnot. Like it's kind of funny. Like he has kind of gotten into beefs with like retro blasting and some of those other guys and stuff like that. So like, anyway, it's I like Junkman stuff. He's got good stuff. He does a lot of he's a big Star Wars guy.
Oh, okay.
So what's his he has a YouTube, right?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube. It's just called that. I think it's called That Junkman.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check him out. He's got good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. Thanks for joining Florida E-Bikes. We're actually wrapping up, but we're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central.
Yep.
It
was cool to see a lot of new people in here. I'm sure they were here for you, Burf, but we do have guests most weeks. So if you like this kind of content, come back and check us out. And Burf will definitely be back at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner than later. Yeah.
White Monkey says, he goes, remember you used to think I was doing my videos from jail. Yeah. So seriously, like when I first started watching him, like, so it turns out like he's like he manages like storage units. So I think he was like doing some videos from like inside like an office or something like that. But there was like this white door, and then it had like this little glass square window. And then he was like, and I would sit there and I'd watch him and I'd be like, I think this guy's in prison. Like doing YouTube videos from inside jail.
That would be a unique concept.
For the longest time, I even told my wife, I'm like, this guy's got good stuff. And I'm like, I think he's a prisoner. I think he's in jail. So
this
then
guy's on work release.
With him and I reached out to him and I was like, hey man, I used to think you were doing stuff from inside. He's like, oh no, dude, no, that's just like our office at the storage unit.
They let him out for an hour a day, so he went toy hunting.
Like, how to make tattoo guns and stuff.
Right. You get 1 hour of daylight a day, and he chose to go to Target. That's
you just made it.
That's hilarious.
Right. Wando just stopped in.
Rolando.
We're wrapping up, man.
Yeah, we're wrapping up, but check out the replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But
awesome, guys.
Again, thank you for joining us again, and come back anytime, and I mean it. Like anytime.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome any week, man.
You don't have to wait till I message you. Message me, and if you want to come back on anytime, man. So,
okay, man, that sounds great, dude.
Yeah, we're here every Tuesday.
I'd be excited to do that.
Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. And next week, Salacious Rum. Don't forget to join us for that one. And for now, that's what effing figures. And we will see you next time.
Later, everybody.
Later.